There's no coincidences. There aren't. I
Yeah.
believe that it's all divinely guided. And so I don't even do yoga, which is kind of another level. And I know yoga's a great thing. Nothing, I'm
I
not
don't do
saying,
yoga either, but
okay, good.
I loved laughter yoga. Welcome to the Metamorphosis Project Podcast. I'm your host, Tenya Eickenberg, and this is a space where transformation begins. Welcome back to the Metamorphosis Project Podcast. I'm Tenya, your host, and today I have with me Cathy, is it Nesbitt?
It is.
Cathy Nesbitt. Cathy, welcome. I am so excited. I was reading over your bio and I was like, I don't know what laughter yoga, sprouts, worm dirt, or as you called it,
Black gold.
black gold, have to do with everything. But I'm excited to get into it and hear how all of those helped you with your story.
Yes,
So
I'm a
please
juggler.
introduce yourself for us.
I'm Cathy Nesbitt. I'm located in Canada, just north of Toronto. And it's the 24th anniversary of my worm composting business, Cathy's Crowley Composters. Selling worms by the pound. And yes, all three of those, worms, sprouts, and laughter, are my life.
I love it. I love it. So get us started with your transformational story, wherever you want to start. I never tell anybody where they should start or they need to start because only you know when your story started and when it started to transform. So tell us where your story started to manifest and you are now who you are today.
Yeah, so I was a secretary for 20 years. I thought that was my lot in life. I was a great secretary. But I changed jobs every year just about because I would get bored. I didn't know that I was an entrepreneur. That's the truth. And in 2012, or 20, no, 2000, I got my psych degree. 15 years in school. Stay in school, kids, you'll get there. Time goes by. And I got a job at a group home working with challenged adults. And I thought that was, oh my gosh, this is why I was put on earth. And I loved it. I loved working with that client, and I still do. I couldn't work with management. And
Isn't
then
that
I,
usually the way it goes?
yeah, often.
Well,
But we don't know.
right. And you have to learn how to manage up, and that is a very distinct skill. Learning how to manage up is a very distinct skill.
Yeah, one of my gifts is that I never saw titles. I was able to talk to the president
Yeah,
and the mail staff, the
that's
mailroom
me.
staff.
That's me. When people come to me and they're talking about their work and like upper management is doing this or they're saying this, and I'm like, can't you just go above them? And they're like, no, that's you, that's political suicide. Like you can't do that. I'm like, well, why not?
Right? Who said? Like, who put that barrier up? Like, it's so interesting the beliefs that we
Yeah,
have because
yeah,
of what we've been told, like follow the line and all
right.
the things.
Yep.
Yeah, so I had this job and then I got injured at work and well, so if I just go back for a little bit, I grew up in Toronto. I bought a house in 93 and I couldn't wait to start gardening and composting. And I would actually take a container on the commuter train so I could collect my coworkers' lunchroom scraps. They thought I was nuts. I think entrepreneurs are a little bit off center,
Yeah,
just by necessity,
yeah.
because we have all these ideas. We're so creative for the most part, and we have a solution sometimes
Hmm.
for something big. And I have a solution for everyone that eats.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, a
Yep.
global solution. That yes, I
Yep.
do. And I do believe that with my offerings, I have world hunger and world peace solved. I'm just saying that. I'll just drop that in.
Okay. I love it.
So I got injured at work. I came home from work and there was an ad in the paper. So, when I bought my house, a teacher friend asked me to look after her worm bin for the summer. I didn't want worms in my house. Gross.
And is a worm bin the same as a composting bin?
It is,
Okay.
except it's inside
Okay.
with worms. So it is
Oh, okay.
exactly. It's worm
Okay.
composting. So same idea. And it's a beautiful solution for anyone that has extreme cold, Canada,
Uh-huh.
or extreme heat.
Okay.
The worms are they like that kind of room temperature range.
Okay.
And I know that depends. Some people are cold, some people are hot. I understand all of that. If we're comfortable, the worms are comfortable.
Right.
It's the temperature change that they don't like.
Okay.
Okay. So yeah, so I came home from work being so I'd looked after the teacher's bin. I was like, oh no, that was my first introduction. And I think that the universe gives us signs
Right.
when we're paying attention. I wasn't at that time, but then I got the job at the group home, got injured, came home from work. There was an ad in the paper and it said, "Are you a woman?" Yes. "Do you have a business idea?" Yes. I was thinking about doing this worm business, but not yet. But then, well, there was a nudge. So I turned to my husband, right? I was stressed because I was injured. I'm doing this because I got kicked in the I got kicked in the on my ring
And
finger, my
oh,
wedding
okay.
ring.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
And I was like, "Oh, why didn't he buy me a Cracker Jack ring?" So I actually had to go to a mechanic and get it cut off because we went to a walk-in clinic. They didn't have the snippers, and it was like, "Where can I go?" Because my finger was swelling and it was so
Oh,
painful. So I went to a mechanic and got it cut off, and then it was like, ah,
oh.
relief,
Did
beautiful.
you at least did you eventually get it repaired?
No,
Okay.
and we're still married. It's fine.
Well, yeah.
It's just a
Good.
symbol. He lost his when we were traveling, so it's fine.
I say my husband now has three because the first one he outgrew, and the second one I got him was too big. Eventually got too big because he then lost weight, but this first one still was too small. So now he's wearing a third one that fits well. So I've got him in all different areas of his life.
That's awesome. So I turned to my husband at reading this thing. I was like, oh, I'm going to quit my job, take this course. I'm going to start a worm business. Won't this be fun? And many things happened in 2002. The landfill for the Greater Toronto Area filled, and Canada is second largest country in the world. We couldn't find a place to site a new landfill, so we started
Mm.
to export our garbage to the US.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, sorry. I know, right? How shameful of us as Canadians for shipping our garbage out of the country. And sorry, but double shame on the Americans for accepting our garbage for
Right?
cash.
Right?
But not the
Absolutely.
people. Anyone listening, I'm not shaming the people, I'm shaming the government, the
Yeah.
decision makers that said this is okay, this is a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
No.
No. Yeah.
Stop it. Be
Yep.
responsible. There's no away. Like, oh, I'll just send it away. Where away? There's
Yeah.
one world, everybody. Away is still here.
Yep.
Okay. I had a solution. Like that was really heavy. That really weighed on me. And I believe, again, that we're given messages. And any time that we get fired up about something like, oh, this is so great, I'm going to do this, what happens to most people is they go, oh, not right now. I'm too busy. Oh, I'll just put that on the shelf over here. Or
Hmm.
they just forget all about it. That feeling that they got that was like, oh my gosh, I feel like a little kid.
Right. Right.
And they don't take action. I'm inviting people, if you get that feeling, to take action, write it down at least
Hmm.
and take action because I say the idea was given to six other people and 6 months down the road you might see your idea and go, oh, I had that idea. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right, they took action,
Yeah.
you didn't. So take
Yep.
action. So I took this course, started my worm business. It's 2002 now. The landfill closed. And then we had a garbage strike in the summer. Why have a garbage strike in the
Ooh.
winter? Yeah, right? Toronto's supposedly a world-class city. Not if we have a garbage strike in the summer. No one's
Yeah.
coming.
Yeah.
And I chose media as my marketing strategy. So I was, when I used to watch the news, I'd be watching the news and people were lining up for hours to drop off their garbage. And I was like, those people don't compost. Because if we compost, it takes the stink out of garbage, right? We're taking the,
Okay.
the smelly stuff and
Right.
turning it into something else
Okay.
that's useful,
Right.
like fertilizer. So I sent press releases to the Toronto outlets. 5 minutes after sending my press release to the Toronto Star, largest paper in Canada, a reporter contacted me and said, "Thank you for your press release about worm composting. Last week I wrote an article about composting. I forgot about the apartment dwellers. 6 million people in the Greater Toronto Area, half live in condos,
Mm.
townhouses, right? Places without space to do outdoor composting.
Right.
And I understand not everybody composts even if they have space. I get it. but they have an option. They could if they wanted. If
Yeah.
you live in a condo, it's more challenging. In comes me, I have a solution. And I love when I meet people and they go, "Oh, I live in a condo, I can't compost." It's like, "Oh, thank you for letting me know you're my market." Now you can. If you choose. And I really want people to be aware that it's a possibility. Like then do it or don't, but it's not on me. At least I've shared what I know.
Yeah.
And now you can decide if it's for you or not,
Yeah.
if you want to take the action.
Right.
Yeah, so I had my first article in the Toronto Star on July 18th, 2002, and I called up my husband. I'm like, "Yay, I got an article in the Toronto Star. That's my market, the condo dwellers."
Hmm.
And he said, "I'm on my way home. I just got downsized."
Oh,
He probably said, "Oh, good for you," or "Way
right,
to go," or
right,
something like
right,
something nice.
right.
And here we are 24 years later. Now I can joke about it and say, "Darn, couldn't you have just got downsized tomorrow so I could celebrate my article in my 15 minutes?" So the universe is a jokester, and I
Yeah,
think we're tried all the time. Like, are you sure? Are you sure? How sure are you? Because now you have no income. Do
right.
you really want to sell worms without repeat customers?
Hmm.
Right? Like,
Interesting.
so,
Yeah.
right. So for a business model, the 80/20 rule, 20% of your
Yep.
clients, 80% of your revenue, not if you're a worm farmer.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
They reproduce more than rabbits and, all the things. So again, that's why I'm like, I must have been divinely guided. Who would choose that? Who would choose such a thing that people revere? Like worms are, the word worm is a bad word.
Is
It's
it?
g- it's
I
got
love
bad juju.
earthworms.
I do too, but you think about parasites,
Yeah.
tapeworms,
Yeah.
can of worms. Now you've opened a can of worms. It's not like now you've opened a can of worms. Right, so it just seems to be, and if somebody was traumatized as a child, like after a rainy day, someone chased them
Right.
around,
Yeah.
a fishing
Yeah.
incident with the green goo,
Yep.
any of these things, you're not looking to the worms as a solution as an adult if you were traumatized.
Right.
Like keep listening if you're were traumatized by worms because there's it's hopeful.
Well, me being an energy healer, I can just clear that energy from them, and so they can still listen without needing to be traumatized by the story. So,
Right there.
yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. All good.
Yay, there you go. You're free.
Yeah.
Yeah, so so fascinating. So I would have my table, I would be exhibiting and people would come up. I had a worm on my shirt. I had worms everywhere. But when people are walking around these shows, they're pretty much unconscious. They're just walking
Hmm.
around, going from booth to booth. What kind of freebies do you have? Whoops. And so people would come up, they'd be close, and I had worm earrings too. So it was clear that I had worms.
I'm from Maryland, so sometimes I say I have crabs, so it's all good.
Think I'd rather have worms. Okay. And and then so when people would be like, "Oh, what's going on here?" And I said, "It's worm complex, worms in the house, whatever." People would take a step back. If they had kids, they'd be like, "Oh, Jimmy, it's dirty, don't touch." And now they're
Hmm.
trying right now they're afraid of worms. Thank you very much. And I was like, "How am I going to do this? How am I going to do this business if I first have to educate people about what it is and why they need this?" Because I thought, "Oh, this is really important." Because we do, as entrepreneurs, we think what we have, our baby, is so important. And it is really important. It's just that people don't buy what they need, they buy what they want.
Right.
And they
Right.
didn't want what I was flogging.
Yeah.
So I took on school workshops. I have no fear of public speaking. Luckily, that's one of my gifts is I'm happy to make a fool of myself. It's fine. Like if it's totally fine. And I'm improv trained, which helps me deal with the hecklers or if I forget what I'm saying. And now
Hmm.
that with laughter yoga, that's given me another level of permission to forget what I'm saying and just laugh
Yeah.
at myself.
Yeah.
So many things, so many tools in my little basket. It's a big basket, actually. Um, I took on school workshops, and over 100,000 students have seen my presentation in 24 years.
Wow.
It's so beautiful, and it's probably still one of my favorite things, going into the school, setting them up with a worm bin. Think about, again, back to Toronto, it's concrete jungle. There's a lot of people and not a lot of space. Some of those children have never seen a worm. They've never even you know, I don't know. They just are very sheltered. They might have seen it on TV or whatever. They maybe have never been camping or went for a walk in the forest.
Hmm.
It like it hurts my soul when I think about these things.
Yeah.
Because if we're not exposed to something, why would we care about it? Like
Right.
if we've never been in the forest, why would we care if they cut it down to build houses?
Yep. Yep.
Why would we care?
Yeah.
Right. So that's kind of my mission is to get people attached to the worms. So then when they see a worm on the sidewalk after a rain and it's going the wrong way, now they're comfortable picking up and putting it on the grass.
Hmm. That's nice.
Yeah, so that was my life and I really was like, oh, this is so important. It's so great and I love it and it was wonderful. And then 2012, one more person said, "Ooh, worms in the house." I'd heard it
Mm, yeah.
hundreds of times, maybe thousands. And I was just like, la la la, no, 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 you need this. It's important. Or move along, get away from my booth.
Right.
I don't want to hear your stories about, your bad worm stories. And that day in 2012, I mean, whenever I talk about it, I get that whole feeling, that whole visceral, wow, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? I've been at it for 10 years, but at this point,
Yeah.
how am I going to do this? If people are still going, ew, how do I get through? How do I? And I was about to doff my important mission. I was like, okay, I give up. I give up, universe. I'm going to get a
Hmm.
job. No, this has to work. I would be a horrible employee now. Don't tell me what to do.
Right? Yeah, I tell my husband all the time, I can't work for anybody else anymore.
No,
Yeah.
no, I don't think so. And the very next day, I was introduced to laughter yoga.
Oh,
There's no coincidences. There aren't. I
yeah.
believe that it's all divinely guided. And so I don't even do yoga, so which is kind of another level. And I know yoga's a great thing. Nothing, I'm
I
not
don't do
saying,
yoga either, but
okay, good.
I loved laughter yoga.
Right? The fun
I was
yoga,
Yeah. Yeah. I just milkshake, cell phone, give it all.
laughter cream,
Yep. Yep.
right? Oh my, laughing at yourself.
Yep.
When I get cut off in traffic, and here's the thing for the listeners, if anyone cuts you off, it's not personal. It's not like,
No.
oh, there's
No.
Kathy, let's get her. Unless it is,
Right.
but probably
Their
not.
day.
They're
No,
not
it's
like
their day.
waiting.
It's what they're going through. It never has anything to do with us.
Except, right? They were distracted or they didn't know the lane was ending. Something happened. Anyway, they
Yep.
cut you off. When you cut somebody off, you're always aware. You're looking in your mirror like, oh, sorry, or
Yeah.
you don't care, but
You do the
usually
hand
you're
wave.
looking, right? Yeah,
Yep.
you wait like, oh, sorry, whatever.
Yeah.
So people are looking. So when someone cuts me off, I'm like, oh, time to do laughter yoga. And I flail my arm around and I'm like, ah, ha, ha. I'm like laughing. Ah, ha, ha. So they're looking, they're like, that chick is cuckoo.
Yeah.
And I get more space. And I'm secreting all the love drugs and
Yep.
I'm like, I arrive at my destination. Like, I'm like, oh, thank you for cutting me off. That was so great.
Yeah. It really can give you a different perspective on what's happening for us, right? There was a time when I know I did, I'm sure you did, when we looked at life and like, why is this happening to me?
Mm,
Right? Someone cuts you off and like, why did they cut me off? Like screw you, right? You give them the finger and the fist and all this, but then it ruins the rest of your day because then you start seeing all of the things that are going wrong in your awareness. But what laughter yoga does is it makes you stop and go, well, why is this good for me? And you don't really answer the question. You don't really need to know the answer to that question. But then you're just able to just laugh. And it's like it's laughing unconditionally. It's like loving unconditionally. Like if we can love unconditionally, we can laugh unconditionally. We don't need a reason.
exactly. And it changes everything in an instant.
Yeah.
We are living in this perpetual state of stress. We're just like stress now has become a badge of honor. Like, oh, I'm so tired. Oh, I'm so busy. Oh, there's no time. It's like, well, we're the one that sets the agenda.
Right. Yeah.
We get to decide how many things are on our to-do list and
Yep.
where we're going to put ourselves. Like we're not taught to put ourselves first,
We're not. We're
especially
not.
as
Well,
women.
we're taught that it's selfish. And, being a self-care coach, like that's what I dive into. And I tell my clients, you have to put yourself first, not in a way where you're ignoring people, but you can't take care of others if you can't fill from an empty cup. And
Right?
and you
Yeah.
have to figure out how can you fill your cup. And if you really don't, and I will find time. Like if you don't have, so you tell me you don't have time to take care of yourself, I will find you the time. It's whether you want to do that or not.
That's it. Yeah,
Right?
making yourself a
Yeah,
priority. And because we're not taught, and because we have all these things, it takes decades sometimes for people
it
to
does.
really
Yeah.
realize like how unhappy they are with what is.
Yeah.
Like people talk about retirement. Oh, when I retire, I'm going to do all these wonderful things.
Why not
Not
now?
not if you're freaking sick.
Yeah.
Not if you're really sick, you don't like you're just so unhappy, you're depressed, you like now you can't even function. You got to get
Yep.
out of that funk before you can even think about anything else.
Yeah.
My husband and I traveled we were 27 in Africa and Asia. We took 13 months. We sold everything. We just had our backpack, off we went. And the things that people said, it was at a time it was 89 and we had double digit interest rates.
Mm.
I worked at a law firm and people were losing their homes. So power of sale and it was really a horrible, scary time. I mean, people can't afford houses now either. No, not that I'm laughing because it's terrible.
Yeah.
And all of our friends were buying houses and they said, "Oh, if you go now, you're never going to buy a house." I was like, "I don't even want concrete roofs, so fine." And the accountant where I was working, he said, "These are your prime earning years. You're never going to get this money back." I was like, "I'm never going to have the energy that I have today
Right.
later on." And
Right.
people are like, "Oh, I'm going to travel when I'm 65." And it didn't even occur to me like you're not going to have the energy at 65. You're going to have different
Mm-hmm.
interests.
Yep.
I didn't think about climate change and that you maybe can't even go to some of the places and war. So
Yeah.
there's just so many factors that I didn't think about it at 27. Like I know at I'm 63 now. I wouldn't at 65, I wouldn't even want to do the trip that I did.
Yeah. 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 I tell my kids all the time, travel. I ask them, what are you guys doing next year for travel?
Mm,
Like, don't wait. If you can do it now, do it now. Do it when you don't have school for
concrete
kids
roots.
and right, concrete roots. I like that. Um, so you've got this business of black gold. Are you teaching laughter yoga? You've got your certification and you're teaching laughter and you're enjoying that. Then what?
Yeah, so worms, laughter, and sprouts. So yeah, what with the laughter, my wheelhouse is special needs and seniors.
Okay.
And before the cuckoo time, I was going into long-term care and schools and working with folks with dementia, which is just so beautiful. And then I got locked out of schools and long-term care, and so whatever, what can you do?
Pivot.
Yeah,
Pivot.
a pivot, that's it. So I didn't, when you become trained in laughter yoga, there's kind of an unwritten rule that you'll have that you'll become that you'll have a free laughter club.
Yeah.
I was like, universe, I do enough for free.
Right.
I don't want to have a free.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to do that. So I
Yeah.
would kept getting paid gigs, and people are like, I want to come to your laughter club. I'm like, I don't have a laughter club. I keep getting paid gigs. Laughing all the way to the bank. How fun. Or they send me e-money, which is really fun too. Um, yeah, and then I started my laughter club online,
Okay.
June of 2020. And what a gift. 5.5 years I've had my free laughter club. I'm so excited with my life, like how one thing leads to another. And in 2020, I really took, like I've always prided myself in being healthy and taking care of myself. And I want to live. I've set a life goal of 111. And not just to get there. I want to get there and still be leading laughter. I want to be living independently
Yeah.
and still be super healthy. In order for that to happen, I need to be super healthy now
Hmm.
and vibrant and have all the good thoughts and all the things so that I can get there and still be
Yeah.
doing what I want.
Yeah.
So in 2020, I took a deep dive into the expression, laughter's the best medicine. Like, what is it? Is it true? Why does
Hmm.
everyone say that and not do it? Right?
Yeah.
So,
Well, because everybody thinks you need to have a reason to laugh.
well, we do our health.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. But you know what I
But
mean. Like,
stimulus.
yeah, yeah.
Well, leading laughter club is so interesting when you get the people that are logical and they're in their head and they're like, have their arms crossed and they're like, you want me to laugh? There's no jokes. That's right. Some people are so strong that they're able to not even crack a smile.
Right?
Like,
Yeah.
and that makes me laugh because I'm just like,
I'm like,
wow.
how can you like when I start laughing because I'm laughing to help my, to feel better, to be healthier, to do the laughter yoga, you get to a point where you're just laughing naturally. Like it's not a forced laugh because you just start giggling.
Right? It's contagious in a
Yeah.
good way.
Yeah.
And yeah, you just take it on. That's why it's so interesting when people are so resistant.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, you
Well,
really got to wonder what's happening that they're not able.
Well, I think part of that is that they were probably like when we're little, right? When you see kids will laugh for no reason.
Mm.
Like we have a 10-month-old granddaughter and you just look at her and go, "Ah!" and she just laughs. Like she's so easy to make laugh. But you get to a certain point growing up and you're told not to laugh. You're told quiet down. You're told not to be boisterous
Sit
and
still.
funny and sit right. Right. And so you get to the point where laughter becomes almost a shameful act unless
Mm.
unless you are laughing at somebody, right? A comedy show, a video, a movie. You're laughing at what somebody else is doing. You're not just laughing for joy.
Right. I know. Again, I'm hoping to flip the switch on
Yeah.
that one because it's such a gift. It's free. It's
Yep.
in us,
Yep.
waiting to burst out. Like, why do we laugh at inappropriate times at the funeral or we see somebody slip on a banana peel or
Right.
whatever? Why is that funny?
Yeah.
I think I don't know, but I think it's the body's stress mechanism where it's like you're too stressed
Mm-hmm.
and it just like triggers this response so that we can flood our body with the happy chemicals
Yeah.
rather than all that stress. I think.
Yeah, I would tend to agree with you. It's a stress reliever.
Mm.
It's like numbing out when you're scrolling through social media. It's something that takes you away from what it is that is really going on.
Right?
Yeah.
Yes, from the actual issue. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. Yeah.
So let's get to you want to be healthy now, and so this is where the sprouts come in.
Yes, well, again, back to 2002, a huge year, right? Landfill closed, garbage strike, first article in the largest paper in Canada. And the first show that I did was April, so Earth Month. It was a garden show. And at that event, my very first time exhibiting, there was a gentleman selling the sprouter that I've been using for 24 years. Um, and he's a professional, he was a professional ballroom dancer. So beautiful, and he was 72.
Wow.
I didn't have any people in my life that were entrepreneurs. So I was amazed at this wonderful man, 72, super healthy, vibrant. He was a gentleman with his crisp white shirt and his
Mm-hmm.
black vest, like ballroom dancer. So he had that kind of posture. And when there was a break in the audience, that thing was flying off the shelf. It kind of looks like a spaceship. It's the size of a dinner plate, food grade plastic, stainless steel mesh. Sprouter. You can grow sprouts in any
Mm-hmm. I
jars
actually
anyway.
I have actually started growing broccoli sprouts.
Mm.
Um, I've started in a mason jar and doing the draining and all that stuff, but I haven't quite mastered how many to make so that they don't go bad in the fridge.
Right. Yeah, so put less seeds in because they're so
Right.
small. You start and you're like, oh, is that enough? And you
Yeah.
add some more, but then the ones in the center start rotting.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
it is an art.
it's a learning experience.
It is, absolutely. But keep on it because especially broccoli sprouts are super healthy.
Yeah.
I mean, they
Yeah.
all are. They all are. They're
Right.
superfood and very
Yep.
fast and affordable. So
Yeah.
talk about affordable food. Buy seeds, have some water, boom, you got food.
Yep.
So when, at least as a supplement,
Right.
like something that can
Right.
supplement. So I went up to this gentleman. I was like, "What is that thing? And why are they buying that and not my worms?" Like in a nice way. And he told me about, it was a sprouter and whatever. And now here's what I say. So I said, okay, I'm in because I don't need to know why something works.
Right.
If something's working for you and what I'm like, oh, maybe that'll work for me too. I don't need to know the mechanics.
Right.
So he said, if you're going to do this, start your day with 2 tablespoons of sprouted mung beans. And mung beans are the bean sprouts from Chinese food,
Okay.
but just grown like where the root is the size of the bean.
Okay.
That's when they're most nutritious. Okay, so he said, if you're going to do this, start your day with 2 tablespoons of sprouted mung beans. First thing, for the enzymes, up to 100 times more digestive enzymes in raw sprouts than raw vegetables.
Mm.
And as soon as we cook them, no more enzymes. Still fiber, protein, minerals, like
Mm-hmm.
lots of goodness,
Okay.
but the enzymes are gone. So here's the beautiful part why everybody should be eating sprouts and growing them yourself because then you're in charge of the freshness and the
Right.
affordability
Right.
factor.
Right.
So they're hydrating, alkali. I'll talk about all these things that make me sound so smart because I am. Hydrating, alkalizing, regenerative, biogenic, and then the enzymes. So hydrating, as soon as we start to get thirsty, we're already getting dehydrated. So the
Mm-hmm.
sprouts are juicy. Alkalizing, in an acidic body, that's where some diseases take place. Cancers and some other diseases thrive in an acidic body. So sprouts are alkaline food. They help to balance the pH in our body. Regenerative. Alzheimer's is a degenerative disease. Not that we can grow back memories, but we can fortify our cells. How beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Biogenic, one of my favorite ones. The enzymes are my favorite part of sprouts. This uh, biogenic means life force giving. I have a
Okay.
ton of energy. And people are like, oh, you have so much energy. And that's like, I've been eating live food for 24 years.
Wow.
When we eat live food, we get the energy from the live food,
Right. Right.
natural energy, naturally.
Yeah.
So, back to the enzymes. When we're born, we're given like a certain number of enzymes. When we're eating, if we're not eating raw vegetables or sprouts, our body uses our reserves. And
Mm.
as we start to age, we start to get digestive issues. And because our
Mm-hmm.
food, especially in North America, is broken, our
Yep.
food system is totally messed up because we think we're smarter than nature. um, and
Not
it's
sure why. I mean,
yeah, I don't know either, but so it's getting younger and younger. Like folks in their 20s are getting digestive
yep.
issues.
Yep.
That's wrong. That's
Yeah.
something wrong. But if we go to the doctor with digestive issues, the doctor might say, here's a prescription for enzyme pills.
Mm.
Imagine if you could just grow your own and you know what's in it. Like if you're taking a pill, there's filler in there, there's some other junk
Right.
that
Right.
may not be beneficial for your health.
Right. So they can those you said they were mung beans?
Mung beans, yeah,
Can they help with like indigestion and that kind of
absolutely.
stuff? Okay.
Absolutely. What my husband
I have
does,
to
so
remember that.
I eat them before a meal.
Okay.
When we have a large family meal, often we might overeat, and he'll might be like, "Oh, darn, I ate too much again." Like it's so yummy, you want to keep on. And so if he's eaten too much and he's uncomfortable, he'll take a handful of sprouts, and then
Okay.
within about 10 minutes, like they're
Wow.
like the building blocks, right? They just
Right.
help. I kind of imagine them as little like soldiers inside our body, like, oh, you should go there and sort of distributing the nutrients where they need to go in our body.
Right. Okay. Nice. I'm gonna have to grow some of those now.
Right. Well, they're super fast. The,
Yeah.
the thing about the mung beans is they will germinate in 24 to 48 hours.
Okay.
Super fast. It's the heat and humidity in the summer, less than 24 hours even, which is like, so every day you can have fresh food. How
Nice.
wonderful.
Yeah.
Um, So that's why they're kind of my favorite because they're super fast. They're neutral flavor, so I add them into everything. Like I eat them first thing, but then I also will add them into things.
Hmm.
I even put them in my ice cream. So then it's like, oh, I'm eating ice cream. Oh, now it's fortified with sprouts. And they don't add flavor, they
Okay.
add texture. They freeze them, so they're kind of like adding berries without
Okay.
the flavor. But then I can feel like, okay, this is good. I'm eating ice cream
Right.
that is now kind of
Fortified.
healthy.
Yeah.
Right, we rationalize all the time.
We do. That's awesome. That's awesome. So where are you going from here? You are do you do all of this online at farmers markets? How do you get your
Yeah,
things
it's
out
kind of
there?
changing now. It's really interesting since 2020. Um, 2020 was my busiest year for worms because schools were closed. Everybody was at home, so parents were looking for a project for the kids. And what do I
Okay.
care? And I
Right.
actually ran out of worms. It was, funny, not funny, because
Right.
that was bad for business. But people would call me. They were so excited. Oh, I've been wanting to do this for about 5 years, and now I have time, or whatever their
Right.
story was. I'd let them tell their story, and then I'd say, "I'm sorry, I don't have worms at the moment." And then they'd get angry. Their energy shift. Oh, why not? What? What do you mean? I've been wanting to do this. I'm like, well, I was waiting for you 5 years ago.
Right.
So, like, like literally, I was like, oh gosh, if only people would call. I'm sure there's people that are wanting to do this. Where are they?
Right.
So since then, I really want people to care about the planet. I really, truly do.
Yeah.
But when you're in a mental crisis, not possible. And how do you torture people?
Mm.
Isolation.
Yep.
We locked, like in Canada, we were locked down for 2 years.
Yeah.
Two
Yeah.
freaking years locked in our homes. They let us out every now and then for a little bit, but then we got locked up again.
Mm.
And we were actually rivaling Australia for longest lockdown. It's just like,
Wow.
wow, how
Yeah, I don't think we
obedient.
were locked down that long. I think we started being let out end of 2021. Start is really things to really started to open back up in
Mm,
2021. So we weren't, I mean, a year was long enough. A year and a half.
right?
Yeah.
It's hard even to believe. I can't even conjure up the energy of how it was. Like it was just anyway,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
now I'm focused on like I in 2020 I took that deep dive into healing modalities. I've been tapping since 99. So I've just been adding more modalities like tapping, brain gym, qigong
Hmm.
with the laughter. As you know, it's complementary magic
Yep.
medicine. No
Yep.
side effects, just the sore ribs and sore
Yeah.
cheeks. A little bit of crying, maybe. Right? So it just goes with everything. I don't know anyone that's OD'd from laughing. It doesn't have any side effects.
Hmm.
There's no counterindications if somebody's
Right.
doing medication.
Right.
So only
Yeah.
good can come from this. So I'm really looking at how can I help other people come out of where they are so that they can do what they're meant to do?
Yeah.
Because when we're struggling, like, people will often, if they feel sad, they might be going, I'm depressed. But I don't think people really understand what depression is unless
Mm.
they've experienced
Yep.
depression.
Yeah.
Depression to me, like severe depression, is when you're numb, like you have
Yep.
no feeling at all, like it's just black. You like there's no hope, there's no crack in the window at all, and so you can't like hope is there's no hope. So at least when people get angry, once they've come off one level out of their depression and they start to feel angry,
Hmm.
good. At
Yeah.
least they good
At
because
least there's a
that's
feeling there.
there's a feeling, there's
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Because depression, you're just like it's really hard.
It
So
is.
I'm really hoping to help people, just pull them out of that doldrum.
Yeah.
And they don't have to be in depression, because people are like, there's so many things going on in the world.
Yeah.
How can I laugh? It's like we're not laughing at any of that stuff. We're laughing for our health. We're laughing because of that so that we can come up with better solution.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
when we're stressed, I know but when we're stressed, blood lymph oxygen leaves our frontal lobe, so we can escape, even if we're
Hmm.
escaping our mind. So, right, like our brain's not fully oxygenated. How can we come up with solution? Like, ever lost your keys and you're like flapping around, oh, where are my
Yep.
keys? Getting more stressed.
Yeah.
You'll never find your keys in that state. Your glasses might be on your head, but you can't find them because you're so stressed.
Yep.
Oh, shoot, they're right here. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm just so grateful for the opportunities that have come to me. Like, I think when we decide this is what I'm going to do, then the
Hmm.
universe is like, oh, all right, here's some opportunities for you.
Right. Yeah,
That's what's
absolutely.
happening.
Absolutely. I love it. Cindy, is there anything that you want? I'm sorry,
That's okay.
not Cindy, Cathy.
I've been called worse.
Somebody, somebody named Cindy, I guess, is coming into the conversation. Um, um, is there, as we bring this to a close, is there anything that you want the listeners to hear or to know that we didn't touch on?
I would love to let people know that I'm actually a laughter yoga teacher and I teach
Yes.
leaders. I do that online or in person if people wanted to come to Bradford, if you want to take a trip to Canada. So that's on my website. It's cathysclub.com. And I would love to invite you and your listeners to my free online laughter club.
I love
It's
that.
this incredible global giggle gang. 5.5 years. I get around 30 little Zoom squares. Four or
Okay.
five of those are groups, community
Nice.
living, long-term care. So more than 30. And it's
Nice.
just, I don't record my sessions so people are safe to come and play and you're not going to show up somewhere on social media.
And when are they?
Thank you. Yes, it's Tuesday morning, 9:30 a.m. Eastern.
Okay.
30 minutes of super fun self-care. And
Okay.
it's from my website,
I
cathysclub.com.
may I may join you because I'm currently not doing a laughter club. So I may come and join yours for a little while.
I would love that. You're welcome anytime.
Cathy, thank you so much for coming on and sharing your story and your black gold and your sprouts. And I love all of this. And I hope that the listeners, when they tune in, that they take such joy in listening to this and carry it with them for the rest of their day.
Thank you, Tanya. Thank
Thank
you.
you. Thank you so much for joining us on the Metamorphosis Project podcast. I hope today's episode brought you inspiration, joy, and a spark of empowerment. Remember, transformation is an incredible journey, and every single step you take towards self-care and healing brings you closer to the life you truly desire. If this episode uplifted you, please subscribe, rate, and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. Your support helps us to share this journey of hope, resilience, and joy with many listeners. For more tips, support, and inspiration, come and visit us at designyourexistence.com. Until next time, keep growing, keep healing, and keep shining brightly. You are absolutely worth every bit of love and care you give to yourself. Take care, stay joyful, and be well.